The difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat, said Thomas Woodrow Wilson, born on 28 December 1856 in the United States of America, died on 3rd February 1924 in Washington, was an American politician and academic who served as the 28th President of the United States from 1913 to 1921. Member of the Democratic Party, Wilson served as the president of Princeton University and as the governor of New Jersey before winning the 1912 presidential election. As president, Wilson changed the nation's economic policies and led the United States into World War I in 1917. He was the leading architect of the League of Nations, and his progressive stance on foreign policy came to be known as Wilsonianism. Thomas Woodrow Wilson said the difference between strong and a weak, first of all, if you're conscious. First of all, if you have a deep, intimate relationship with your family, and you're always connected to your joint family, which leads to your family tree, and you respect that family tree. Whether you are highly educated according to your thinking, or you are very rich according to your thinking, then you can't find the difference between the strong and the weak because you are always strong. God has not sent, the nature has not sent anybody in this world weak. It sent the strongest. The survival of the fittest was a language came because the circumstances has been disconnected. The circumstances of being a family and a joint family and the family tree was disconnected. Hence the survival of the fittest, the language came. As long as you are in touch with the one which you knew, be it your father or mother, or your brother or sister, or anybody in your family, keep growing. The moment you try to dissect their language, then you are weak. If you know them, you can always convince. If you cannot convince, don't convict. That convict is the weakness on you, not on them. Thomas Woodrow Wilson said, I utilize all my talents, total brain, and I also make sure I borrow it from others too. It is your duty to use all your energy to melt with the other person and use their energy also to help them and help others. Then where is the weakness? The difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up in defeat. Yes, when you are strong, consciously strong, not because somebody else has given you the title you are strong. When you are consciously strong, most of the politicians crash because after their defeat, because they were not strong. They were made strong by the people, by the chamchakiris. Please try to understand that. Once you know your own strength, means once you know the people who have voted for you and the people who have not voted for you, you are deep in love with them. Doesn't make any difference. You are not expecting them to vote or not to vote. You are just in deep, intimate relationship with them. And every day is a victory when they come to you. You smile, you give them a bear hug. They touch your feet, you touch their feet, you enter the house, they enter the house. Wow, what a relationship, what a strength. Yes. Only thing you have to open your mind without suspecting. Yes. The moment you suspect, weakness is thy name. Moment you leave the suspicion, and strength is thy name. Thomas Woodrow Wilson said the difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat. Yes. First of all, the name defeat doesn't include in your dictionary, in anybody's dictionary. The day the defeat name came because there was competition in the schools. You have been taught to compete, and then your marks is up and down. You have got the first rank, second rank, your A and B. They kept on creating that weakness in you so that the 2% rich can control you. The autocrats can control you. The religious leaders can control you. They need people in the church and the temple and the masjid. They need people to work in the factories. And they created the promotion that you are so and so, you are so and so. There is no and so and so. When you work, you yourself knows. Your team themselves will tell, you lead, you lead, you lead. Yes. When you lead, yes, you feel happy. When the moment you dissect your wife to find out whether her eyes or nose is beautiful, then you are not a man. The moment the wife decides to dissect the husband, then she is not a woman. She's weak and he is weak, and in too weak, people cannot create anything good except chanchala. Thomas Woodrow Wilson said the difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat. Yes, nothing like a defeat. Well, your cooking time, if it is spoiled, you are conscious. Even in the spoiled one, even in the spoiled milk, they make another one item called curd. Yes. From curd to another one item called paneer. You can move from one to another and everything is more beautiful. It was not a defeat. The moment you think it is spoiled, you do not know how to convert that spoiled into something beautiful. Yes. That consciousness is your strength. That consciousness is your growth. And that helps you to move mountains. Your love, the deep intimate relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your children, with your parents, stabilizes the family and takes you forward for a joint venture called the joint family. As you know them so well, you don't fear even for a second there will be any breakage or failure, because anything happening there is orgasmic experience of growth, and that stands tall like a family tree, giving more strength, avoiding diseases. Try that one. Thomas Woodrow Wilson said the difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat. Never give up after a defeat. One, first of all, there is no defeat.